Now I'm recording.
Customer.
So I'm going to start over from the beginning so you guys can
Okay.
follow along completely. So up here, I type in Tracy Geisel,
In the search window,
Yep.
of course.
hit enter, and then when I see this icon right here that looks like two people,
Mm-hmm.
that's the prospects, and I'm just going to left click on the name. It's going to open up her prospect page. From there, I'm going to click this Create New button
Mm-hmm.
and hit Lead Source. So we have to set a lead source before we set the actual appointment. So,
Did you pick lead source? Okay.
Great news.
I know you're recording that.
so from here, all the information should already be in. And then it looks like her phone number's not. So I'm going to
Yeah.
update the phone number.
She probably has it not in there for a reason.
Probably.
Like Gene and Judd.
Did Tracy get a quote from Bassett in Plainfield before she did this?
They were doing her service.
My buddy John over there said he quoted somebody that worked here, and then they said, "Oh,
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, if you see right here, this is required. So we're just going to say Tracy, we'll text Tracy is what she's
Okay.
going to be preferred.
Any of the red marks,
Yep.
bars mean you have
Yep.
to populate that,
Absolutely.
correct? Okay.
pick lead source and then set method of
Yep.
preferred."
Where did you
contact.
pick the lead source, Ryan?
I haven't yet. I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
now.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to change this taken on date
Okay.
to, this is supposed to be the date that they schedule the appointment. But since you guys just have these papers, I'll just use the date on the proposal
Okay.
as the taken on date. So if I click here, it's going to pull up a calendar, and this one was 7/26 is when you were out there. So I'm going to click on this source type. This is a high level view of all of the lead sources,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is a narrowed down list. So it looks like she's a prior customer, but she's really let's call her a prior customer.
Okay.
And then a prior customer right in there.
Okay.
So you don't.
What's the yard sign?
This is just means that this is probably what I selected last. Whatever you last selected on a lead
gotcha.
source
Okay.
pulls up. So if you use one really common, or really frequently, it lets you select
Okay.
it. Now I'm going to move down to this product category, and your guys' is always going to be HVAC.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit Save and Add Appointment.
Okay. Great.
I'll let you guys catch up on your
And you just clicked on the products.
product category. Yep.
Actually did this.
I don't know if you heard me too. I'm recording this,
Oh.
so it'll leave. You can go back and watch
It's
it
going to
again.
send it
if
to
you-
us.
Okay.
So I'm going to click Save and Add Appointment. And then now I need to actually set the appointment in here because we have to have an appointment to have a quote and a sale
Okay.
tied back to. So you've already got your market segment here pre-populates with Indianapolis.
And the compass is the new appointment icon,
exactly. Yep, that's
correct?
just the appointment icon. You're right.
Okay.
So I'm going to click this scheduling calendar button. And I'm actually going to go in the past, since I'm just going to use the date from this proposal
7/26.
and enter that in. You can just do that from right there. And then who ran this appointment? Is this one that you did?
Jerry
Yeah.
and I did.
Your name's on there. So
Yeah,
you
so
can
that's
do it.
fine. Are we going to
Okay.
schedule the work to the project?
Yes.
Okay,
That'll be
so-
separate, yeah.
Okay, and that'll
So I'm going to have you down here. I picked the little box next to you, the one on your name.
be
And
okay.
since this is in the past, we can just hit any time
Okay.
and then hit OK.
Okay.
So it was important. What I did here was selected that up at the top. If you can't click in here, but
Like
you
the
can click
time?
up at the top.
Okay.
So now I've got my appointment date set, my sales rep. It's got HVAC over here in the
Okay.
products. The appointment was set on 8/23. That's okay because it says 8/23.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to change that. I don't want it to mess with any of our reports. So I'm going to change that
So it's
to
July work.
7/26. Yeah.
Okay.
So then now I can save this.
In the
Can I ask
future,
a question?
Yeah.
Hmm?
I want to ask a question. It looks like everything that we have have to put in there before we can move on is highlighted in red.
For the most part, yeah.
So that's another way to just,
Yep.
Like an easy reminder.
So I'm going to hit save. Now I've got an appointment. So this is also how you guys would go in, and if you get a call from a customer to set up an appointment,
Okay.
you'd do it that exact way.
Create
What
new.
did you just click on again?
I hit save.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
so-
yep, I just hit save.
So Ryan, it kind of just to backtrack a little bit. Customer calls. I would enter their name in a search to see if they are one of our customers.
Mhm.
If not, I'll go to prospects and enter their information.
Yep.
And save it.
Mhm.
And then go to appointment. Set the appointment.
Yep. So from the prospect, you would hit the create new,
Right.
and then do a lead source, and then save
Okay.
that appointment.
Okay. And then you can schedule it from there.
Yep, exactly.
So now obviously some people are going to be a little short with you. So if I get that information on a piece of paper or something, I
Yeah.
can go back and obviously do it
yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Driving
So-
down the road.
Now what I'm going to do from this appointment page is we've got the quote right in front of us, so I'm going to recreate this quote
Okay.
by hitting this new quote button.
Okay.
I'm going to name the quote. So after their name, you guys can just always put HVAC. Don't
Any-
need too much
no,
detail, just
okay.
HVAC.
Okay. The description is where you'll
we'll
add
select
that.
the other. So the status is going to stay proposed. Description is what you're going to put the description of the issue. Do you remember what the issue was on this one?
Yeah, new air cleaner and return duct, DUCT.
So we'll call your start date. You have to put something in here. So since these are already done, let's just put ASAP. Then,
Now, quick question
Yeah.
on your status as proposed.
Mhm.
I know you said that this isn't sold yet, but even though it already is,
we'll still leave it as,
Leave it as
proposed,
proposed.
and then when we result the appointment, we'll
Okay.
make it sold.
okay. Thank
so
you.
then the last thing you need to do is this quote type drop down. Select is this an HVAC repair or a replacement? This is a
Repair. We'll call it a repair.
And we can change those names if you guys want those called something different. Now I'm going to go over here and hit this add item.
Okay.
So hit add item, and then in the product name, I'm going to search for just HVAC quote. It's going to pull up, and now I can add my description. And
Okay.
this description field is what you put on this proposal here in your notes. So,
Everything or just the key stuff?
uh,
Because I embellish a little bit for people.
you could just put in here, since these are already done, we can put in the key stuff. But if you go out and run an appointment and you're doing the quote from here,
Is this the actual quote the customer would get
Mhm.
if I'm doing it on 360?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this, I would put in here the same notes, but since we're just doing this now,
you
let's
can put
abbreviate
Lennox
it.
16 MERV high efficiency air cleaner and return duct. You can put that duck if you want.
So I'm going to leave this quantity as 1
Okay.
because it's going to add to the price. So if I put in here, the total on this one was $285. So now my total here says $285.
Mhm.
If you have multiple options on a quote,
Okay.
you would put if you had like an upgrade option, you could put this as a 1 quantity, add another HVAC quote, and just put whatever. This is just a example, but
That's
put
cool.
upgrade, change the quantity
To
to 0, and then add like $500. So it'll show up on their quote that, hey, for $500 I could get this upgrade,
Mhm.
or
But it's
they
not
can just
added
do
to the
the job.
price.
Yep, they could just do the job for $285.
When us three sat in with you in Judd's office and your office, you were doing this on 1, and I remember you were the 1 is the one that's always going to show the price, and you
Exactly.
put 0.
Yep.
It doesn't reflect that in the actual price,
That's
but they
right.
can choose to upgrade it. Okay.
So once I've done that, I have to hit save. I'll give you a second to catch up on your.
So now we're
Key
going
to
to
the second item quote is to put the quantity as 0, correct?
Yeah, if it's an upgrade option. If it's a price that's supposed to be included to do the job, leave it as 1. If it's an option to them, leave it as 0, and then they can select.
But it will still show on the
It'll
quote.
give them the price, but it
Yeah.
won't show in the total.
Okay, so options show 0.
Mhm.
Until they choose it.
Until they select it.
It's an upgrade option.
So are you still in appointment?
So it takes me back to the appointment. Yep.
When you
So-
added it, took you back to the
Yep.
appointment,
So when you hit
can
save,
go.
it takes you back to the appointment.
Okay.
I'll scroll down, and in my quotes section, here's my quote. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like really
Okay.
quick. So if I click on it, and I hit this print/email button, and I click on the test bone dry quote.
Is that just a preview?
Yeah, this is just a preview. So I'm going to open this up.
So we can do it on ours, even any of these, and it'll just preview. Okay.
So let me click this.
So right there's
That's too much.
two. Do we need to some adjust that so that our HVAC quotes come up and it says bone dry heating and cooling?
Probably we do need to look at doing that. Yeah.
We're
So-
still doing them on here for now in the
Right.
price book, but yeah.
So this is what the quote would look like. It's really elementary right now, and it's not anything fancy. We're working on the
Right.
fancy part of it, but this gets to the point. And
Sure.
at least has
What's
their-
the box for?
This is a signature line. So if you're on the
okay.
iPad,
Mhm.
if you're on an iPad, they could click it and they could sign right there.
Okay.
So
Just touch it on
Yep.
mine. Okay. Okay.
So that's what the quote looks like. I'll hit done. And then I can go from my quote up here, I'll go back to the sale or to the appointment by clicking on that. So now from the appointment, we've created our quote, and in your instance, you sold this.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit this result button.
Okay. And that's in the appointment. The result is in the appointment. Okay.
So I resulted it. Now, or you clicked result, in the result option, I'd hit sold if I sold it, demo not sold if I gave them a price and they didn't buy it.
Okay.
Not demoed means I didn't give them a price.
Right.
No show means you got to the appointment, you're knocking, you're calling, and nobody's calling you back, so you don't give them a price. So it's no show. And then canceled would be, excuse me, if before the appointment
Mhm.
they called and canceled. So
Or
I'm
the
gonna hit,
office calls, whatever
Yep.
the case is, they canceled. Yeah.
so I select sold.
Okay.
And then my quote is going to pop up down here at the bottom so I can import my quote. So if I select this checkbox, it updates my total price quoted. And then the most important part of this is making sure that your office and your sub-account pick list are correct. So your
Okay.
office is going to default to Indianapolis. Your pick list needs to be
HVAC.
Indianapolis HVAC, or you're
Okay.
not going to get credit for the revenue.
Okay.
So now I go down here and hit next.
Hold on before you
Yep,
do.
yep.
How will I transport this or the other price book that we have that has the options? How can you transported what you did on there. How am I going to be able to transport into 360 when I close it? Like I did before, take the picture we did the other day. I took a picture of it with my iPad and we were able to upload it.
Mhm.
I'm sure you're going to get to that, but you
So
follow
you're just
what I'm
talking
saying.
about how do we get this into?
Yeah, how do I get this piece of paper right here into 360
So it doesn't go into 360; it just goes into Google Drive.
to the closing folder?
So when you go into Google Drive, you can come right in here. You're fine.
If your car is parked down in the front part, you need to move it, they're doing the red right now. Sorry, and if any of you guys are parked there, you'll wanna move
Okay.
in the front.
Thank you.
My truck's red.
Your truck is, you're right, you're okay.
I'm not parked there.
It got very freckles. the
We'll
other
get
day.
we'll get back to
You
the Google
okay?
Drive part.
Yeah,
We'll
you
get there.
you understand? Follow
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Okay.
It essentially the
Everything you
same thing that you were doing, where you could take a picture of it and get it there. It may be easier to have Sheila help you get caught up
Okay.
and just have her go in and scan these pages, and then she can put them in the
Into
Google
360 or
Drive. So
into
that nothing
Google
goes
Drive.
into 360; it goes into Google Drive. That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
So all the
So
closing
any-
folders
any
and everything go
important-
into 360 or into Google Drive.
Yep.
Anything that we're importing that's not being created within I-360
Correct.
gets imported into
Correct.
Google
Yep.
Drive.
So I'm gonna click after I set those. I'm gonna
Okay.
hit next.
And you're saying make sure the city and the pick list.
The office and the sub-account pick list.
Sub-account
So your
pick
guys'
list.
are always going to be the office is Indianapolis,
Okay.
sub-account pick list is
Right.
Indianapolis HVAC.
And then we go open a Lafayette branch, it'd be Indianapolis or Lafayette HVAC.
So they don't have
Fort
one.
Wayne.
It's going to stay Indianapolis for you guys, no matter what.
Right. I meant like in the future, in a year or two from now, whatever the case
So
is.
it would show up here in the market segment, would say Lafayette,
Okay.
but you would still select Indianapolis as the office because you're running it out of Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
So those are always going to be there. Make
That's a
sure
good
that
question.
those are right again. And then scroll down, your name as the sales rep came in. Then you sold it on 7/26.
Okay.
So leave that. This is your quote. So we're good there. Now I can just hit save. Now we've created the sale. And when you create a sale, it automatically creates the project. So now I'm on the sale page, the handshake icon. Scroll down, and now I've got my project right here.
Okay.
So now that you've done that, if we go to the list of your jobs needing PO'd, this is going to be in there.
Because we haven't PO'd it yet.
So right there, Tracy.
Okay.
So now you can find it there. How I found that, I went to projects, and then in this drop down, I selected Indianapolis HVAC.
In the future, the appointment's going to be set before I run the call,
Correct.
and so it'll fall in line. We're
Correct.
back. We're backtracking
Yep,
now.
yep.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to select this project here by right-clicking and opening in a new tab. It's going to open up here. And now what we need to do here is we need to edit this and add the installer who's going to be the one that's installing
Okay.
it. And then we need to add that install template
Right.
here that you guys are
Just like we
pretty
minused
familiar
out.
with now. Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit edit.
Okay.
And then you said Jerry was the...
He was the project manager, and Jordan was on it too. So
Okay, so I'm
how
going
would
to
you?
type
Okay.
Jerry.
Yeah.
And then in the crew, I'm going to
Jordan.
type in Jordan.
Yeah.
So then I need to scroll down, select my template of install, type in Indy HVAC. I'm going to set the date for the 26th that you guys did this. I need to set my time for the morning, set the same day that you finished it as the end date, and then just select a time after this
that,
time. So I hit 10 a.m. Now
Okay.
I can hit save.
Okay. And it's taking it off the PO list.
So now I close
So
this.
For project, then you just created the install right
Yep,
there.
exactly.
From project, create install.
So now if I refresh this, she's off of your needing PO'd list
Okay.
and moves to, when you select this again, go to the projects needing PO'd Indianapolis.
HVAC.
I don't know that I see it. Indy HVAC.
It's there. There. It's up there higher. It's check mark on it. See the check mark?
That's needing PO.
Oh.
I'm looking for the. Oh, so this moves to project activities.
Okay,
I'll go
okay,
up here
go
and
up
select
top,
project
okay.
activities, and then from that drop down, I'll select Indy HVAC needing scheduled, and then these are all ones that are
Ones
in
we
here.
moved.
Yep, these are all
Okay.
ones you moved. So if I search for by the.
So you're showing us how to actually schedule something now, then too.
Yeah, so
out
you-
of this
when,
list.
When we just finished that part where we added the install date, that install date that you select is the schedule date.
Okay.
So let me go. Let me try and.
Now
find
we
that.
didn't add any install dates for these. They're open.
So that's okay for now. That's good. For
Yeah.
You. Yeah, you're fine.
Am I
'Cause you
saying
haven't
that
done it, 'cause
correctly?
you haven't done it.
No,
You don't know
correct.
when you're going to schedule.
Right.
So let me go and
Some of
find
them. We've got numbers on
HVAC.
Making minds cross looking at all those again.
You get PTSD,
them. What's that?
post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So now I should be in here. So actually, it's already been scheduled, and it's not even in this because we've already set the install date, right?
Okay, so where would you find
So
it?
now, if you wanted to find it, you'd go up here to Reports,
Okay.
click Reports, and this is why I'm recording this, so you guys can find this. So Reports, this part doesn't make sense, but go to Accounts Receivable,
Okay.
and go to all sales with outstanding balance. And then you're going to get these options to pop up here.
Okay.
Check the box next to working. That's our active status.
Okay.
And then down here in this drop down, scroll down and select sub account pick list. Then hit drill down. Now I'll scroll through this list and find Indie HVAC, select it, and then hit drill down one more time. Then go back up and hit show details. So now Tracy Geisel is right in here. She's showing up in your pipeline.
Okay.
That's what this report is your pipeline. So I'm gonna go back to Tracy. So I'm gonna click up here and go back to Tracy. So now we've created our quote. It's on there. We resulted the appointment as sold. So I'm gonna go back to the appointment really quick. It shows resulted, sold for $285. And I'm gonna go and click on my sale down here. I'm gonna click on my sale. So at this point, if you were going out and you wrote a quote and you sold it, your guys' portion of this would essentially be done for what you guys need to do. If you guys are if Sheila's going to be helping you with like some scheduling and adding dates and stuff, then your guys' essentially would be done other than letting her know the date. So it shows up in here that 285, Mike Duckworth's a salesman. It's not, when it's not in a net phase, I mean, it's not done.
It's not closed.
If you see a date in the net stage, that means the job's closed.
Okay. Okay.
So essentially at this point now what we need to do is close it, but we're gonna have Max do all the closings.
Okay.
So what I need to do for this job is from the sale, go to print/email,
Mm-hmm.
select the project packet. It's gonna open up. For simplicity, hit attach it to the sale.
Okay.
When you see the green done, go down here and hit done.
Mean everything's right
Yep.
in the world?
That'll take you back to your sale. Now scroll to the bottom, and in your notes and attachments is your project packet. Hit view.
And then print
It's going to download. Now I can open this up, and it's going to have my packet with my PO number and everything already on it. So there's my PO
it. And then
number.
at that point, I'm going to add all the receipts, pictures, copies
has
of
got-
proposals.
It's got your invoice. It's got another copy of the invoice. Certificate of completion, which sounds like we need to maybe edit for you
I
guys.
don't think that's going to be
And then
major.
here's your closing
And
sheet.
that's cool. I'm cool with that.
So,
of course.
From this point, now that these are done, all you need to do is, I'll print this out, all you need to do is go in, fill out your closing sheet, and hand it to Max and say it's done.
Okay. With
And
well,
he'll handle closing it.
or in this case, I've been handing them to her, to Sheila, and then she hands them
Yeah,
back.
exactly. Yeah, so
So-
exactly.
That
So,
cool,
I'm
Sheila?
going to go ahead and print that.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
That's what I
Before we
would have
forget.
expected, yeah.
What's your dog think?
Sophie.
She loves Ben. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and print that, so it's going to be on the printer upstairs. So let's not forget that one.
I won't.
So now your portion is done. It was scheduled. It's sold. You've got the packet now.
Yeah, say I do. And then
Yep.
I can close it out with a check and
Yep.
put it in
Just
a
fill
folder
out the
and send it
paperwork
off.
exactly as you would,
Okay,
and then hand that all into Sheila, and she'll get it to Max.
good deal.
So that one's done.
Okay. That was a good one to do.
Yeah,
Now,
that was good.
another one is, if you don't mind,
Mhm.
is one where we did, it's not even in the system,
Okay. So
but
that'd be a
the
good one.
previous owner that the referral is. Does this 360 track that as far as,
It does. We'll have to see. Wait until we get into it a
Okay.
little bit here. So this is a customer you said that's not in the system yet.
she was referred by Ken Blaudow. Blaudow, you may know who he is, Indy
Okay.
Mortgage guy.
Remember when we were looking them up for you, Mike, and
I spelled it wrong.
you spelled it way wrong? And then finally, because I remembered the Blotto name from a long time ago, I looked it up a different way and we
Yeah.
found him.
That's it. Spelled
Okay.
it in a bad way.
So since she's not in the system, I'm going to double
Let's
check
look and
and
see.
if she
Yes,
is. So
of course.
over here on the left, I'm going to search for her last name, Payne, and her first name is Marcia.
What's the difference between this search
So
and
if you're
this
looking to
search?
see if they're in the system,
Mhm.
I would search over here.
Okay.
If you're confident they're in the system, I'd search up there.
I see.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm
And it'll
gonna-
pull them up either way, right?
Yep.
Okay. If
So I'm
they
gonna
are
hit
in our
go.
system.
But here it gives you some results of the possible matches. So I don't see any that are an exact match of Marcia Payne.
They would both
They'd
be
both be
yellow.
highlighted. So
Okay.
now I'm going to look at the address and just see if any of these, well, that's a lot of them. Let me add the address really quick just to see if there's a,
We may have done some work there.
so I'm going to search. And nope, no
Okay.
matches at all. So actually I'll leave that in here.
It'll help populate it during the appointment.
Yep. So I can do that, and then I'm gonna hit search again, just really quick. It's not in there. So prospect doesn't exist.
Great.
Hit create new prospect. So now you got to fill in the rest of this information. So the phone number is, let's say 309 or 317. Looks like 317.
309, looks like.
It looks like it was, but then it looks like it's a 7. Yeah, that's a 7.
Okay.
830-3488. Put her email in here, Marcia.Payne at Metzer. Since we don't know what her email is, I'm not going to put an email.
Can I look? Can I look real
Yeah,
quick?
see if you can make
So I think
that.
I've emailed it. Looks like in net zero, it cut off when I copied it, netzero.net.
Do you know what net zero is?
Have you
Yeah,
heard of that
there's
before?
an email domain,
Net zero?
netzero.com.
Okay.
Marcia.Payne.
Payne at netzero.net. I have seen that too.
Okay, so now our email's in. I need to finish typing in my address. So the address is up here, and I'm going to select I'm going to type in the zip code now, so the rest of it will populate. So 46229. It's going to ask me here if this is the one I want to select. So it autofills all this information. I need to come down here and set how she prefers to be contacted. Do you know how she...
No, I
We'll just
don't.
call it phone. We'll just default if you don't know to phone. So I keep coming down here, and now you have to set your lead source.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit, this one was from 8/12, so I'm going to change that date to 8/12. And then my source type, it looks like she's a previous customer, so prior customer. Is she a prior customer?
No, he was the person who referred
So he's a
us.
referral,
Yes.
and then I'm going to select
Previous customer.
employee referral.
We've done a lot of work for this gentleman that referred her.
This is weird. I wonder why it's not giving me an option for customer referral.
He's a realtor.
Okay, we'll just call it that. For now.
Okay. Is there a place where you can put his name or not?
Now
Not
we
critical.
want to add one so that we
There
can
will
track
be.
there, but
Okay.
we're not there yet.
Okay.
So then again, I'm going to set my product category as HVAC,
Okay.
and then hit save and add appointment.
Okay.
So now we filled all that out. They're in the system as a prospect.
Okay.
Now
Be logical if right next to the referral if you had just
I
another
know.
tab by whom.
I know,
Well, sure.
and we're going to.
Baby steps.
So
Wouldn't that be where the gift card referrals
mhm.
originate from, that
Yep.
spot right there?
Exactly. Yep. So now that I'm in my appointment, I'm going to hit this scheduling calendar button. And then again, since we did this in the past, I need to go up here and select the date that is on the proposal.
Okay.
So it looks like you had a couple appointments that day. Did you run this appointment?
No,
Yep.
that's-
Your name's
That's
on
the
it.
one me and Jerry and Jordan went down to.
Not Marcia Payne. You were not out on this one.
No, the one.
Oh,
that
Rebecca
showed up.
Case. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to select your name, Mike, and then I'm just
Okay.
going to, again, it's in the past. I can pick any time. So I hit OK. It pulls in you as a sales rep, the date, the time. It's already got all this information. I'm going to change the set date to the date of the appointment. So 12, set on. And then now I can hit save. So now from the appointment, I'm going to hit new quote again. And then type up here, type HVAC. And the description, what was the issue? So this just has a defective 5-inch B-vent pipe for. So now in the start date, again, we'll just put ASAP since you already did it. Set my quote type.
The description is going to be the purpose for the call.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
So
the solution
issue.
is, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to go down here. This is another HVAC repair.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to hit add item. And in here, I'll type in HVAC quote and add my description that you would type out in the notes. So
Okay.
I'm just going to
That's
put
getting clear. New
So I'll-
5-inch
I'm just
B-vent.
Holloway, effective B-vent, and install new 5-inch.
There you go. B-vent, cap, and collar.
Cap and collar. Okay. So you charged $825. And then now, since that's the only thing you quoted on this, I hit save.
And if they had different options, I would change the quantity to 0.
Yep. Add
and
another,
add
do
the
another
dollar
add
amount.
item,
Right.
and then type out your stuff and just change the quantity
Okay.
to 0.
Good.
So now that I've entered my quote, it's down here. I'm going to go up to result the appointment. And then resulted as sold. Import my quote by clicking down here. Your office is already set.
So,
Set your pick
okay.
list. HVAC. Hit next. It's going to take us to the sale page. And all we need to do is verify this information. So you got your Indianapolis and your Indianapolis HVAC. Your sales rep name's in there. There's sold on 812.
what's rep split percentage?
So that would be if you had multiple sales reps and you wanted to split the commission,
Okay.
you could change it right there. Just a 50-50
We'll worry about that
split.
later.
Right. So you've got your quote down here. Sold on was the day that you ran the appointment. That's fine. Now I just hit save.
Okay.
So at that point, you now have a PO to use.
Okay.
To find your PO, scroll down. And next to this project, the project number is your PO number.
Okay.
So this is where I was talking about when you guys want a PO right away to purchase material, you would have sold this, and as soon as you sell it,
Okay.
you have the PO to go
Because
ahead
you've
and-
entered all the information and you
Yep.
resulted
Mhm.
the
And that's basically what I used to do, Mike.
Uh-huh.
Just, win it and then give me that PO.
Oh, so in essence that's winning it
Yep, you
to
just
a point.
want it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So now, let's go into the project by right-clicking and hit Open Link in New Tab.
Okay. That's where we're gonna create the packet.
So we're not going to create the packet here. We're going to set the project manager and crew,
Okay.
and then set the install. So I'm going to hit Edit.
You're recording this.
Yeah. Project manager is who did this one?
Jerry and Jordan. Jerry's project manager and Jordan is the crew.
Jordan. Scroll down and hit install.
Install.
Indeed. HVAC.
Is it critical that the phone number is incorrect for that customer?
We can go back and change
Okay.
it. So I'm going to make sure we set the date we did it to the 12th.
Okay.
Set a time.
Always after
Yeah.
if I have to backtrack. Okay.
And hit save.
And they did that job quick.
So now you filled all that out.
Okay.
It's scheduled, so it's off of your needing PO'd, off of your needing scheduled. And now, if I run this report, now this one's going to show up right here, Marsha Payne, in your pipeline.
Okay. And the pipeline is in the reports.
Yep, and so there was instructions on how to get there.
Sure. Yeah,
Yep.
you did that earlier, but never mind.
Yep.
It's okay.
So
You're good.
I'm in the project where I just set that.
Okay.
To print out my packet, I'm going to go back to the little hand icon,
Okay.
click on that, and then now from the sale, I go to print/email, project packet, hit attach it to the sale. Is it done? Hit done. Scroll down to the bottom.
Preview it.
Hit view. Download it. It'll open up. So now we've got our packet here. Then I'm gonna just print this so that you guys can.
Should I go fetch those real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
They're printing default print, right?
So is that what I would do, the printing part?
So yeah, that would be the part that you would do, is the printing part. Once they go and they do their project stuff, or once they do the sale, you would go in and hit that print project packet.
And it's pretty self-explanatory if you read the boxes.
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys I'm recording this again, so if you
Yeah.
guys want to go back
And I
to,
know you'll send that to me as well,
Yep,
please.
yep.
Thank you very much.
It's like it seems ultra confusing, but then once you do it a couple times, then you just
exactly.
just flow.
Yep.
Mike's shoes squeak, everybody.
Squeaky. Mine do.
Are there any more of them
That are
that
pressing.
are
yeah.
really pressing?
Yeah, one more. It's a check deal. Should be pretty easy. That's Tracy.
They get worse.
Here, let's get these around there. Okay.
Mine doesn't do it unless I get a bunch of water.
Now this had this is a good one because it had an original PO.
Okay, good.
And I kind of pulled that out, so but it hasn't been PO'd in the new system, but we did probably flip it over.
We'll take a look and see
Okay.
how it looks like it's set up. So, since you have this work order already, you can actually search for the old work number
Okay.
in here. So go up to this top bar and type 551764. Hit enter. Now it's going to pop up right here.
Okay.
So I'm going to open your sale, this little handshake icon,
Mhm.
sale. Just going to hit that and open it.
You guys follow what we just said? I didn't know if you heard it.
I think I was following it.
Oh, okay.
Going to do the
It was
previous
one
cell.
that had already been PO'd.
Right, is the previous cell with the
Yeah.
numbers?
Yeah.
This one's
So
gonna
when
go
they
back to the appointment.
Imported all the old jobs to the I-360, did the old job number stay the same?
So they did. It has an old and a new job number now. So
Yeah.
I'm on the appointment right now. I'm just trying to look at. Did Grant sell this?
It was a giveaway,
Okay.
you know,
okay.
maintenance plan.
Okay. So it is $0.
Oh, maintenance,
What's the check for 180?
Well, we went out and sold him he had an issue on the service call when we went out.
Okay.
So we, I guess, upgraded, or he had a bad capacitor part when we did the maintenance. So we sold it to him on the spot.
So is that a separate job from the maintenance?
No,
You did it all together.
we did it all
Part of the
together.
maintenance.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
part of the maintenance.
So this is a good one. I can show you how to
Yeah.
edit that.
Okay,
So in that instance,
we're in the
You've got-
sale. We're
yep.
still in the sale.
yep, so
Okay.
you've got your sale, and it's in the working status.
Okay.
So we can unresult this appointment,
Okay.
and it's going, as soon as you unresult the appointment, it's going to delete the sale and the project. So we're going to recreate them, but we need to unresult this first.
Is that similar to the unresolving of the POs that we did the past few days? Did we unresult those POs?
So
that were-
actually, forget what I just said. We're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click. Who was marked as a salesman on this?
Well, Jerry was out there. I set the appointment, sent Jerry out, and he did the work. So I guess Jerry would be the salesman. He doesn't get any commission or anything. That's the work we did on the maintenance.
So let's see how we want to do that.
Because there's going to be a lot of these.
I really don't want to create a. So here's what I'm going to do.
Think
We're not
about
going
it,
to
or-
unresult the appointment.
Okay.
But since we were there at the same time, I'm going to hit new quote first.
Okay.
So hit new quote. It's going to ask if you want to continue. Hit OK.
Okay.
Now we're going to create a separate quote for the $180.
For that appointment?
Yep, for this specific. So we're going to keep the appointment the same. This is just going to be another sale on that. So HVAC A description, what was the issue?
Let me
System.
look. I think we put
Fan
capacitor
in
on.
on position, customer would like new system.
No, right here. No cool, arrive, blower operation found, run capacitor. He sold them a new capacitor.
Okay, so defective capacitor. What'd you say the
Capacitor. Like a flux capacitor.
defective capacitor? Then start date, I'll put ASAP. Then go over here to my quote type and select HVAC repair. Hit add item. For a product here, we're gonna put, it's gonna be HVAC quote. In the description, we'll put,
We need to break the price down a little bit on this because that was a service fee. We went out and had a service fee of that of $55 and then did the capacitor for $125, but we could lump them together. But do we
I can
need
show
to-
you how we'll put this on here actually.
Okay.
So
description be repaired air conditioner with new capacitor.
So is this, what do I put in here as the description?
Repaired blower.
Just repair blower.
Yeah, with capacitor. That's what we did. Yeah, thanks.
Capacitor. We go over here to the price and type just 125.
Okay.
Hit add item for HVAC quote. In the description, put
50 or service
Service fee.
fee. Yeah, $55.
55.
There we go.
Now my total's 180, but it's broken out on the quote. For
Well, I
the-
think it was
Just
185,
like when you're
wasn't
doing
it?
options.
No,
Is
It's
it
180.
Okay.
Just 180.
It's the exact same thing as doing an option, except you're gonna
Yep,
put a
except-
quantity
yep.
of one,
Exactly.
and then it adds it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it had zero, it wouldn't add that dollar amount to the 125.
Right.
So now I'm gonna hit save.
You know, we could just blow that up a little bit, turn the lights up, pop, pop.
There
It'd be
you
like
go.
being at the movies.
So
All
now
right.
you've got two quotes in here.
Okay.
HVAC. So now I'm gonna select new sale. From that, I'm going to import a quote. And then this top one is the most recent one that you gave.
Okay.
So I select it and then hit OK. Now you have to set your office and pick list aren't set now.
Okay.
So you need to set Indianapolis HVAC. Set the sales rep. Let's see if this works since Grant was the original. But we're going to try and type. So neither of you guys went out here. This was just one Jerry went out to.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so Jerry was the salesman. Then the sold on date, again, I'm going to set as the day of the appointment, which was 8/6. It's got my information down here. Scroll down
That's
and
correct.
hit save. So it's going to tell me I can't because of the sales rep. So I'm going to delete this and put Grant in, and then I'll show you it should.
But we'll still get the revenue because the sub-account pick list is us.
So I'm going to leave this blank actually.
Oh, okay.
Don't save it with anything. So hit save and it'll let you save it. Now I think if I edit it, it's going to let me. So if now I'm on the appointment, I have 2 sales now for this one right here.
Mhm.
If I hover over edit and hit open a new tab, it'll be up here at the top. Now let's see if it's going to let me change the sales rep name. Now I'm going to type in Jerry and then try and save. So now it lets you save it. So you just have to save it first without any sales rep.
Okay.
It's going to pull in the original sales rep on there as Grant, and then it'll refresh here in a minute, and then hit save again.
Now the second sale, does that show up as well and show
It's like
Jerry?
right here.
Oh, it does over
Jerry
there.
right there. So that's good.
Good.
Now from the sale, we've created that. There's actually going to be 2 in here because one is the maintenance and one is the service call.
Sure.
So this one, I'm going to right click and open this in another tab. And I'm going to see if this one is set up right. Sale.
That's one we paid for the free service, the free maintenance plan, running the service. So that's our goal.
Yeah, because one of those is what prompted our question to write in the first place.
Right. We're going to run into a few of these on different ones, so this is really good. Thank you, Ryan.
So this one, I go back really quick. this sale, this is the old sale that was already in here for the
Mhm.
maintenance.
Right, at $0.
So you're going to notice it says Indianapolis and then BD Home Solutions.
Okay.
We don't want that. So I'm going to hit edit.
We need to edit those out every time I see them.
If you see a BD Home Solutions, edit it and change it to Indianapolis HVAC.
Is that our name now? We're not Home Solutions anymore, are we?
You guys are Indianapolis Heating and Cooling, I think. Or Bone Dry Heating and Cooling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we still
The
have
Home
accounts.
Solution, this is just imported data that
Okay.
came over. So
Okay.
So now
Sure,
I'm going to
sure, I get it.
save this really quick so that it updates that.
Hmm.
From that sale, my guess is I go to the project and I hover over and open
Open it in
the
a new
project. I'm guessing the install activity. Yep, no, it's right. So the install's on here,
But the
but I
dates.
need to add the Indy HVAC. So if you guys done that, you guys did this job, right?
Yeah, we're done with it.
So the maintenance is done and the
Yes, it's done.
Two. Both maintenance calls have been done.
No, I think he
Just
has a
one of
fall one coming up.
so
He wants. I'm going out to quote him on a new system. That'll be a different time.
let me just double check that.
Or is there another one on there? Does it
I don't see another maintenance plan on here.
another appointment?
So this one was the original maintenance. That was free. This one's still working. So this one shows
have
it's not
another
done
one.
yet.
Okay, so
But
we
I-
do have another one with the working.
So it's in here. So once you're done with this one, is there no more?
I don't know. Yeah, we've
Okay.
got stacks.
My
of
guess
them.
is there's probably not. So that's okay in there. So we're good. I'm going to close out of that. So now I'm going to go into the.
Can I stop you for a second and ask you a quick question? All of the ones that were in the not PO'd section that we moved, that Ben mostly did, but we moved, could he be in that and not show up there?
What do
He
you
may
mean?
be. Well, we moved all those to not scheduled
I would
yet.
have to go, you guys, so.
See you later.
See you.
Have a good one. I know you gotta get rolling too. Could that be in the import where we imported it from the HVAC jobs needing PO to need scheduled? Could the second one that we owe him be in that? Is there a way
I
to
wouldn't think so. I'll check.
find that?
So I'm going to come up here
Because
and
I
go
think
to
we haven't done it, and I can't remember every one of them, Ryan. So
check. I'm going to go to the project activities
Okay.
actually, and then hit Indy HVAC needs scheduled.
there you go.
And then I'm going to do.
Can you type in his name?
So you can't really search.
There's
So-
Chad Moore.
So this guy's name is Eric Moore.
Yeah. Sorry.
So I'm gonna look in here for Eric Moore.
It's alphabetical. Looks like.
My last name.
HJKL.
There's an Eric Moore,
Yep.
but it's the one that we're looking at right now. So this is his last maintenance.
Okay.
That's in here for now.
We may have done him last year.
Yep. So from here, I'm back on the project.
Okay.
I got
Thank
off
you for
yep,
checking that.
I got off topic, so I'm gonna go in and set this as the day that we did it. 8/6 ago.
Now conflict came up.
It's all right. That just means that there's something else on the calendar for those date and time.
Oh.
But it's all right. It'll save both of them.
Okay.
So who did this? Was Jerry again?
Yes. Jordan was with him.
Come.
Didn't want to.
There we go. So now they're both in there. That's set. I'm gonna hit save.
Install was clicked and
Mhm. Now it says down here on the project. We're okay. So we're back on the sale now. Now what you need to do is print out the packet for this one
Right.
so you can close it out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to, I'm on the sale with the
Okay,
handshake
handshake.
icon. Hit print/email, project packet.
Packet.
Hit attach it to the sale.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Green done.
Done. Scroll to the bottom.
View it. And notes and attachments.
Hit view. Hit download. Open it up. And it's right here.
Okay.
So this
If-
is the old one. So this is
Okay.
just, this isn't the this one. This is that
Will it
job.
print 2 packets?
I'm going to print you 2.
Oh, okay. So you have to go back and
Mhm.
print the. Okay. Right click, open in a new tab. Or right click
Yep.
and
So
open in a new
I'll
tab
go
again.
back now. So let's exit out of, or let's show you this. So we're on that sale that we just printed, right?
Right.
I can go back to this appointment. So click this
Mhm.
appointment. It'll open. Now I scroll to the bottom and I can go to my other sale. So we just did this one and printed this out.
Right.
Now I want to go to this sale. So I
Right
open
click.
this sale. You
Oh,
can
you
just,
just opened it.
left click it. Yep. So now I need to go to my project. And then you can click on edit over here.
Mm-hmm.
Open a new tab.
So you left click on edit or right
So
click.
this one was going to be Jerry and Jordan again. Then I set my install. Oh, this is going to end the HVAC 86. Save that. Then now I can hit print/email, hit project packet, attach this one to the sale too. Done, done.
So when you add items, you could do multiples then, couldn't you?
Mhm.
3, 4. I mean, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So you were printing 2 different packets out on that?
Because they were 2 separate jobs. One was a $0 job and one was a charge. So that's why I'm
Even
bringing
though
out
we
2
were
of them
there at the same time?
at the same time, but
Yeah,
these are going to have 2 separate PO numbers.
So one was the maintenance and then one
Yep.
was what got sold
Yep,
additionally. on
exactly,
that. Okay,
exactly.
I get it.
So now I go down to this, hit view, open it, and then now I'm going to print this one out.
So
Don't
when
need to
we
preview.
add, and we're not just quoting them, we add those other sales on that same thing.
You created
So there was one for the original maintenance.
Yep, there was already one in there.
And
one
then
already
the-
PO'd.
And then the service fee and the capacitor was the other 2, and those 2 lumped together on the other packet.
But they're 2 separate POs in the system.
Yep.
Is that correct, Ryan?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the one PO has
There's
just
no
the
way
maintenance
around
call,
that, is
but then
there?
the second PO has the 2 products that we sold on that call.
Correct.
The second one. And not to belabor this, but will Max have an issue with that if he does?
No.
Well, I mean, not have an issue, but why is there 2 POs?
No.
Okay.
He'll see that there's 2 separate jobs.
Yeah, it's the same customer number, which is a prospect number. Or what is that called now? Client number.
So there's a prospect number is the customer ID.
That's what I meant.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. They'll both be under the same prospect number.
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm going to close all
Of
those
course.
tabs out. And really at that point,
I think
now
we're
you
good.
guys are good. Let's look really quick. Let's go to reports one more time.
Okay. Can you believe that went so quick?
So now I'm going to go to accounts receivable, all sales with outstanding balance. Click working, drill down by sub-account pick list,
I'm glad you're recording this.
hit drill down,
Because that is confusing.
and then I'm going to search for Indie HVAC, check the box, hit drill down one more time, then hit show details.
Well, our balance is going up.
Yeah.
That's good.
So you've got your Eric Moore job right here,
Mhm.
and then it looks like that's the only
Tracy's
one
in there, and Marcia Payne is in there as well.
Yep, yep. So now those are just in here until they get closed.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure. So is that saying those other ones that were on there are not closed?
Yeah, those don't show us closed yet.
Okay. They have been, but evidently not. Who would I get with on that, Max?
Yeah, I'd get with
Okay.
Max or Sheila to go in and print